Welcome to FDVN's channel. In today's video, we will introduce the new lesson, Reading Contract Law. Exercise 1, you are now going to read more about contract law. The most important words are in the key vocabulary below. Listen carefully and fill in the blank. In general, businesses are free to enter into whatever contracts they agree between themselves. However, business contracts must not be contrary to, against, case law or to acts of Parliament such as the Unfair Contract Terms Act. If the contents of a contract, usually called the terms and conditions, do not comply with the law, meaning they don't follow the law correctly, then a judge will probably decide that the contract is void. Void means empty. It is not an enforceable contract. It is not a contract that a court will recognize as valid. It is a general rule that both parties to the contract must have capacity to contract. This means that when a person signs a contract they must be old enough to consent, say yes to it, and not mentally ill, and not drunk or using drugs. It is another general rule that both parties must enter into the contract voluntarily. This means that they must have signed it freely and not under duress, pressure. A contract may be written, or oral, spoken, or in the form of a deed. A deed is sometimes called a contract under seal. It is a special contract that is legal even though one of the parties has not provided consideration. A promise of a gift or donation, for example, can be a valid contract if the agreement takes the form of a deed. An oral contract is binding according to English law. Even if a contract involves a large sum of money, it is still valid if it is not written. When a contract comes to an end, we say that the contract is discharged. If the contract is discharged because one of the parties does not fulfill their obligations, it is called a breach. If one party breaches the contract, the injured party can sue the party in breach. The injured party is the claimant and the party in breach is the defendant. Exercise 2, decide if the following statements are true or false. A. Acts of Parliament concerning contract law are to protect the public and they do not affect businesses at all. B. If a contract is void, it will not be enforceable by a court. C. If I sign a contract after drinking a whole bottle of wine and 3 beers, the contract might not be valid. In very special circumstances, it is possible to have a contract where one of the parties does not provide consideration. If a contract is void, it will not be enforceable by a court. Exercise 3, choose a word or phrase from the key vocabulary in Exercise 1 to complete the sentences below. 1. You are only 16 years old, so you do not have to contract. 2. A contract that is valid even though one of the parties has not provided consideration usually takes the form of a contract under. 3. We made an oral contract, and even though it involves a very large of money, it does not need to be in writing to be valid. 4. There are various ways in which a contract can be, including performance of all duties or breach. 5. If a contract is binding, then it is by a court. 6. You did not fulfill your obligations under this contract, and as the I have the right to sue you for breach. 7. Did you sign the contract? Or was it signed under duress? 8. One of the terms of this contract is to the Sale of Goods Act, and the term is therefore not valid. 9. If I promise to make to a person or an organization, it is a legally binding contract if the agreement takes the form of a deed. 10. One of the terms of this contract is to the Sale of Goods Act, and the term is therefore not valid.